It's not easy to classify his films as simply as good, bad or ugly. They're better described as edgy, dark, strong, powerful, with flashes of brilliance and yes, very, very violent. Little wonder then, his next film is titled Ugly. Please welcome Anurag Kashyap.
That's some description.
Is it? How do you see yourself after such a long run in the industry?
I don't know.
I mean, your work. Do you think this fits your description, or would you like to be seen?
I think I'm more real, and I think I'm an interesting storyteller.
Yes, that's awesome.
I don't know. I don't really see myself from the outside. I just wanted to, and I've always felt free to do what I want to do.
There's a lot of freedom in your expression.
Yes, and that's the only thing I've always fought for.
Okay.
And I think I have spent so many years, and today I can say that I'm allowed to make what I want to make in this country and by this industry, and I'm very happy to be in that. I've made films with very less amounts of money. We made Gangs of Wasseypur staying in 300 rupees a day rooms. And keeping everybody there. And this is people saying 5-star hotels when they make a movie. We stay in we have done a lot, but we have had fun.
But Gangs of Wasseypur had a bigger budget, right?
Yeah, it still didn't have. Like, I have never worked on an optimal budget. Like, for example, Bombay being my biggest film yet. But we made a 300 crore film for 90 crores. So it's still a very tight budget.
Okay. But do you ever think of the market or the box office when you select a subject like Gangs of Wasseypur?
No, I think of how much money is invested in it. Because if I start thinking of 100 crores and 200 crores, I won't be able to make a movie. I just think my responsibility ends with my producer's recovering cost.
Okay. And you don't think about giving a bit bigger hit, like let's say, I mean, your own brother's Dabang or something.
Everybody wants massive viewership. I'll be lying if I say I don't want. But I'm saying you cannot make a film saying that it's going to make that number. And a star has to have that pull to fill all those theatres. Right? When I have a star, when I have Bombay, I have a star, and the film costs 90 crores, I'll be thinking of more than 100 crores. When the film has to make that kind of money. Right? But when I'm making Ugly, it's not my concern. I think I want to make a good film, I want to make a film that succeeds, I want to make a film that works after Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So with PK, Rajkumar Hirani has this style of having very positive kind of filmmaking, and you have a very dark side to your filmmaking.
It's very dark. It's very dark. It's very emotionally strong. The audience also likes to taste a change. Change the taste, आदमी सारा समय दाल चावल ही नहीं खाता और उसको भी टेस्ट चेंज होता है, उसको भी थोड़ी मिर्ची चाहिए होती है. Raju will have the sweet dish and makes you feel good and makes you think, and I have the chili that gives you a little spice in life.
Right, and makes you think also.
Yeah.
So do you like Mehta stuff? Do you like
I love watching
that kind of films?
I love watching it. Yeah, I love watching it.
Okay.
I'm a big Raju Hirani fan. I'm a massive Raju Hirani fan. If it wasn't PK, I don't think we would have strategized it like this.
I see.
So I'm thinking, if their PK was not coming on, and everybody was not so intimidated by PK that they gave it 3 weeks, I don't think we would be releasing Ugly. I'm saying it is precisely, if Ugly was a very positive kind of film, again we would not be releasing it.
Since you do make very different films, do you sometimes do it for, there's a rebel in you that I have to make something
this is what I know how to make it. This is me.
Yes.
It's not really, I don't make it to prove a point.
Does that make you a little bit indulgent? Do you think Gangs of Wasseypur was bordering on the indulgent side?
I think all my films have little indulgent.
Okay.
Because I think what is the uniqueness that a filmmaker brings to a movie is his indulgence. I'm saying, when we go outside and we see a movie, we see a Finch movie, we see a Scorsese movie, we see a Nolan movie. They're all little indulgent. I'm saying, what is the value of it? I'm saying, even in India, Rohit Shetty movie, they have indulgence. Rohit Shetty, what he does with the cars, and the commercial, it's also indulgence. I'm saying the uniqueness that a director brings to the film is his indulgence that sets him apart from the other director.
Your films being in the limelight just before the release, how has the outcome been after the films have released? How has the response been towards your filmmaking from the industry and otherwise?
I get very good response.
Okay.
Every time my film is coming out, all the directors call me and wish me luck, and they want to watch my movies. I get very good camaraderie from the directors.
Okay, and from the stars?
Stars also. Not all of them. Most of them.
Okay.
But I think it's the trade that has issues with me because they're not able to predict.
And what's taken you so long to start working with bigger stars now? You know?
It was the cost of Bombay at one. Second, I finally lost my fear of stars.
What was the fear earlier? That you
My fear of stars
lose
is
your
because-
control of
and
fear?
no, stars also have a pre-dictated market. So the market kind of, an expectation controls the stars. The image, they're so image conscious, that controls the star.
So they are not willing to
There are very
spend-
few stars who kind of don't care about the image that they have created. Beyond that, my image is of a good actor. Right, you know? So then you slowly lose your fear. My fear is like, okay, fine. Now at least they think that I'll bring a kind of a uniqueness to them and they're ready to let go of their image, to experiment and try to reinvent themselves.
So after Gangs of Wasseypur, which was really large in ambition, why a smaller film like Ugly?
I think it was only after an ambitious film can you go out and do a smaller film. I have a
Did
small
you
films
feel,
for my
what was
oxygen.
it? What was going on? I mean, did you feel that?
No, because Bombay Road is locked. And we were supposed to do Bombay Road, but I asked for time off to make Ugly. So everybody said, why do you want to do it? I said, I need to do it. Because you know, I'm very comfortable in a zone of filmmaking. I want to do a challenging film and see, because my thing was, I've often been accused of being dark. I said, I want to make a film that's inherently dark, but make it so emotional and palatable and to reach out that everybody can enjoy it and not be repelled by it.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted to do, Tangli, which is why I succeed because it makes you cry. And women also watch it and they love it.
Okay.
So for me, that was a big thing that, you know,
That is
making
quite a change from Gangs of Wasseypur. Did you think that people were repelled by that film and?
some people were repelled by the violence of it. They couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
But I surprisingly found that women have been my much more faithful audience than men. Strangely. And I don't understand why.
Okay. That's because I think that you have very strong women characters.
Also, not just women characters, they also like my men in the film.
Okay.
There's no strong, somehow it's the men, and especially the conservative people
Yes.
who can't deal with the women in my movies and the men in my movies.
Yeah, they are very hard to digest, you know. People like Sardar, Manoj Bajpayee's character, how crude they can get and what is the ugliest that they can get. So what makes you write these kind of characters?
Because these are real, these are much more
These
real.
are the people you've come across in some
No, these are
point?
people, I'm saying, what makes people write characters who dance and sing and are superheroes? What makes them, do they come across these characters?
They want to be like that. Maybe they want to be like that.
Yeah, everybody is actually fulfilling the secret
Right.
fantasies of what they want to be,
Right.
right? For me, I'm actually making this about people you come across and I come across and everybody comes across in life. I'm saying these are people you meet every day in life. You walk on the street, you'll see these people on the streets. And for me, that's what makes me curious. When I see a guy like this sitting there quietly at a bus stop, like, you know, thinking about something, and I'm wondering what's going on in his head. Where's he coming from? And I like to go into those uncomfortable spaces and make it, you know, weave it into a story.
Okay. So Ugly has these characters which are very interesting. There are two men. One is the dad, the
One is
girl's
the
dad,
stepdad.
and one is the stepdad. So two people together like that, juxtaposed opposite each other and caught in a situation, in an uncomfortable situation together. None of them are perfect.
Everybody is lying to themselves. In the film. I think everybody is like somewhere has this opinion of self, which is kind of unflinching. Whether it's a low opinion or high opinion.
Okay.
I'm saying the wife has very low self-esteem. She's depressive.
Right.
She's made very bad choices in men in life. And she thinks that her time is gone. She doesn't have another chance. There's a guy who thinks he's like so superior to everybody else. He just has the answer for everything. He's got this bloated sense of self. There's other man who's just not realistic. He's living in a time warp. He's had 20 years trying to be an actor. He's never got a chance. And he still thinks he has a chance. He just doesn't realize that. It's like that joke that I read the other day. It's a joke about age, but people don't realize it. One woman went to a dentist and she read the name and said, oh, I had a boy who used to study in my class who had a similar name and she had a crush on him. So when she went in and she saw this old balding man, she said, no, he can't be my classmate. But then she starts talking to him and she says that, so which school did you go to? And he says, I went to St. Mary's. So So were you science or commerce? And he says commerce. Which year? He says 1978. So I was also there. And the doctor, the balding old man, looks at her and says, "What did you teach?" So I'm saying, I just often never have the sense of how much we have aged.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm saying that joke is what
Yeah.
you tell people. That's what it is. This is why isn't that time so he doesn't realize that.
Yes. Yeah. So this guy is stuck in that kind of a limbo.
And then there are these everybody who wants a lifestyle without having to work for it. Everybody's in a hurry. And there's a situation that brings out the worst in everyone.
So what inspired you to write this story?
It's gone through lots of phases. Initially when I started writing, it was actually from my own guilt of with my daughter. When I separated and we had a big fight.
Okay.
And I used to visit her on Saturday and she used to come over on Saturday. And one Saturday she came and I was working and she was just sitting there watching me work. And she was so angry and she said, "You don't have any time for me and why do you call me over when you have to work? Finish your work and then call me." And that stayed with me and I started writing about that, estranged father with a daughter. But then it didn't go anywhere. Then I came across a kidnapping story, it became that, and slowly all these started coming together.
And this whole concept of the two dads together, and not getting along.
Yeah. It also comes from lots of things. I'm obsessed with this idea of people, because when you go back to school and you meet alumni, you meet some of them who still emotionally and mentally are in school.
Right.
After 20 years, 30 years,
Yes.
they still talk about how. And I'm saying, what in a situation like that, if there's a grudge, if there is a role reversal, this is nothing. It came out of a reaction because I was a very quiet, shy guy who actually achieved nothing in school, except in academics.
Okay.
So one of my old friends reacted, "Yaar, tu kaise film mein chala gaya, itna bada director ban gaya, tukka laga hoga." I'm saying, from his reaction I felt, it's a very good thing to explore. That the guy who was a big hero, there's another friend of mine who actually was the big shot in school, and when he failed in life, he refused to meet everyone because his failure consumed him so much that he would not step out of the house.
Right.
He would not meet anyone. He would not take calls, and people loved him as much. So we loved him so much, because he's not a mean guy, right? But that whole thing of how will I show my face? They're all working, doing well in life, and when the role reversal happens, the hero in life turns out to be nothing, and that meek guy sitting where everybody bullied becomes into somebody else.
Right.
Personality, and he's not even meek anymore, he's not even weak anymore, he's just changed himself. And these things have been my obsession because of the way I spent my life in school. Because when I stepped out of the school, whatever I would try would be negated because they would laugh at it.
Okay.
So I said, when I go to college, first thing I did was join a gym. I said, I'm not going to be the same guy anymore.
Okay.
So those things happen in life, and I wanted to explore that. What happens in a situation, two people come together again, and the roles have reversed. And all these things that kind of came together in this one movie.
Very, very interesting. And then now you're moving on to Bombay Velvet, which is it's actually a love story.
It's a love story, gangster love story.
So gangster aspect is there, so at least...
Yeah, but it's not that kind of gangster of possible. It's this very refined gangsters. It's those city mafia kind of gangsters who have access like in crime, but they're not so street level. And it's also a love story, it's also about jazz, it's also about a nightclub, it's also about the city of Bombay.
So how different is this from your experience working with Ranbir Kapoor versus working with, Tejas or your
I'm
other
saying
actors?
it's actually the same.
Okay.
I'm saying I had as much joy working with Ranbir as I had with Nawazuddin or Rahul Bhatt.
Yeah.
I had as much joy working with Anushka Sharma as I had with TellyChakkar or Amar or Tejas.
Right.
Because they also surrendered the same way.
Okay.
That's when I lost my fear also as well. Because they also approach things with as much hard work and as much, vulnerability.
Yeah.
And they give themselves to it.
Yeah.
So, that whole idea that just because they're a star doesn't mean they don't work hard is gone. Actually, sometimes you see stars working harder.
Yeah.
And they're driven more by the hunger.
Okay.
And they have the similar hunger.
Right. And you have a knack of spotting the right talent amongst your cast as well as your music.
I see casting for me is very important.
Yes.
I'm saying
And you made Nawaz, you made Huma. You gave them such massive, terrific roles that.
That I will do anyway. I'm saying I believe in one thing. You give terrific roles to everyone.
Right.
I try to give terrific roles to everyone.
Yeah.
People are made by their choices.
Right.
I think nobody makes anyone. You give them a platform and they make themselves with the choices that they make.
So likewise, the way you have a knack of spotting talent, do you think that internationally you seem to be gaining much more recognition for your talent than in India?
I think so. I also think, this is something that I've understood. Initially, I had no idea that why were they looking at my work. Like, it's like this, that a lot of things start making sense to you. You look at it because nobody knew Kailash Satyarthi. Till the world saw his work and gave him a Nobel Prize.
Okay.
Correct?
That's true.
I did not realize that people were watching Black Friday. They saw my movies.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
When it happened in 2009, that Mahajan came down and he saw Devdi and Gulal, and after release he put both of the films in various festivals together and put me on the jury.
Okay.
I was like, Acha, I had no idea that I would be meeting people I admire so much and I would be with them. And suddenly I realized people are watching your work. Things that I've been criticized here for actually is what is working for them outside. It's because my films are more universal. And there's a kind of universal language because I believe in being real and nobody acting and nobody being larger than life. So people don't need to understand Bollywood or need to know Bollywood or India to say, okay, this is a Bollywood film, this is how they're made. In spite of all that, it works for them. It could have been any language and it would have worked.
Yeah.
And they find out the changing modern India through my movie, which it took me a long time to figure out. And people are watching.
Okay.
People are watching.
Yeah, like your chase sequence was picked up by Danny Boyle, Slumdog.
No, and he saw the film and he's the one who actually popularized the film.
Right.
But Danny, he liked Black Friday, but he loved Satya and Company too.
Okay.
I think there is something that was there in all those movies that he loved.
Right.
He talked about Black Friday so much.
Yeah.
It helped me a lot internationally to get people's eyes on my work.
Yours is the only director's voice which is being seen and heard abroad. So is that one of the reasons you are shifting base now to...
No, I'm shifting base because I couldn't deal with paparazzi.
Really?
Yeah, too much.
Don't tell me, just the paparazzi? That's...
Many things. It's just too crowded, it's too much. I don't feel like I'm living in a democracy. I'm tired of fighting for this. To see that
like
disclaimer on my movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't see people seeing reason. It's just everybody's... And there's this lack of respect for cinema. They think, they really look at cinema as this bhand. That's primary job is just to entertain them and tickle their funny bone and do this, that and everything. I think it's in our grain, it's in our DNA. Cinema has become a soft target for everything. I'm saying, who really cares? You pile on the tax on cinema, and there's lots of things. I'm dealing with stuff that is so hard. You start co-production and then you spend 1.5 years trying to explain what co-production means to the tax authorities and departments and things, and I'm exhausted. My experience is so bad. If we shot the movie Bombay Road in Sri Lanka, if Bombay Road was shot in India, it would have cost twice the amount of money.
Okay.
I'm saying that's how much the level of corruption that we have to deal with when it comes to films. I'm in a profession that's not respected by its own constitution, and I feel used, and I feel humiliated.
Right.
And I mean, why should I not go there? That they love my work, they respect you,
Okay.
they really respect you, they love your work, they allow you to be, they are fighting for me to be free.
Okay. And I wish you all the very best with shifting your base there, but I do hope that you're going to stay back and continue with your fight because we need filmmakers like you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anurag.